Hi, welcome back to my channel. I have something different for you today. Inspired by Dasy Victoria's historically correct Elsa project and our following conversations in the comments, I wanted to talk a little bit more about bunad and mine in particular. The term bunad is supposedly Old Norse and means costume, or it means costume or clothing, really. The bunad was invented in a fit of a national romanticism as Norway was separating themselves from Sweden. This happened in the 1800s over to the 1900s. It's the constitution in 1814 and the real divorce from Sweden in 1905. And this is when one trying to find the real Norwegian culture. They wanted to get back to their roots. In art from the time, you can find a lot of romanticized Norwegian landscapes and rural Norway. The best example being the Brudeferden i Hardanger by Tidemann and Gude. Now, national romanticism wasn't exclusive to Norway. This happened in the entirety of Northern and Middle Europe at the same time. For some reason, one decided that the rural... I cannot say that word! Anyway, the style of dress that were worn by peasants and farmers and such on special occasions in the 1600s, that was supposedly our roots. And so these things was the reason for the entire interest in these kind of clothing in the beginning of the 20th century. And now we get to Hulda Garborg. Hulda Garborg, national romantic, writer and suffragette. She was, together with a few others, she developed these ring dances that were to be danced to the tunes of old folk music. And the thing was, one was supposed to wear bunad while doing these ring dances, and thus the whole thing was set in motion. The bunad was gaining popularity from around 1900 and up until the 30s, and then World War II happened, and after that it was big. There has been a lot of discussion around the term bunad in later years. Some Puritans means that there are bunads that are better than other bunads. Bunads? That's wrong. I don't like that word. Bunader. That's Norwegian. Now, in my dialect, we say bunada, which really doesn't sound right in between English words. Oh, whatever. So, there has been made this category system in which the best ones are those that are a part of a live folk costume tradition that hasn't been broken. And then the second layer is the things that was a line of tradition that was broken and then picked up again. And then there are those that are made and reconstructed from more or less secure sources and from more or less material. There are some that are constructed from like one piece of a vest that's this big. And then we have the ones that are inspired by other things than clothing, like art or architecture from the 1600s. And then on the very bottom, and frowned upon by the Puritans, are the entirely modern fantasy dresses that are inspired by bunad. The Puritans will tell you that the further down you get on that list, the more watered down the term bunad will be. And now we get to something that to have made a bunad that are on the top of those lists, you have to have, first of all, you need this really expensive course to make them, if you want to make them. And the materials has to be bought on a few selected stores that make them, and they are insanely expensive. I checked. Insanely expensive. And so on the whole, a bunad is really expensive to have made or to buy, as it were. I checked a little bit around and found that the bunad that I own goes for 20,000 Norwegian kroner, and that is 2,000 to 3,000 American dollars, if you were wondering. And that is excluding the silver. Others are probably a lot more expensive and has a lot more silver, and because mine is somewhat simple in the grand scheme of things. And this is one of the reasons why I love fantasy bunad and Dasy Victoria's project so much. It's like this big middle finger to the Puritans. I just love it so much. And even though this entire thing and this bunad industry, really, it leaves this really bad taste in my mouth, I still own one and I truly love it. It was gifted to me by my parents and my grandparents for my confirmation when I was 15. And I really do love it. To say something else would be a lie. And now we get to look at my bunad. It is a red trønderbunad, and the trønderbunad was made by 3 teachers in the 1920s who felt that the bunad that Hulda Garborg had made was not trønder enough. Because Hulda Garborg's bunad was from Hallingdal, which is not in Trøndelag. These 3 women were adamant that the materials for trønderbunaden was going to be made from locally sourced materials like wool and linen, and you know, not the velvets and silks that were imported by other bunad. The trønderbunad originally comes in 3 colors, red, blue and green, and then there is this black one that's really pretty that has been emerging for the last, I don't know, 15 years or so. And mainly it consists of a shirt, a vest and a skirt and an apron. And then of course all of the silver stuff. And you need to have shoes, bag, stockings and underskirts, but that's beside the point. And you can also get this awesome cape thing as outerwear. And my mom owns one that is this long swishy cape kind of thing that I really like, and my grandma wears a red cape that is a bit shorter. I really want one for outerwear because the white sleeves are big and you don't really put anything under there, and white linen on an early morning in May in Norway, it's not really, it's just not very warm, I can tell you that. I'll put it on and talk about the different layers as I go. So the stockings are basic green things, and the shoes are, well, they've got buckles on them, probably not silver. And the petticoat is basically something I made for LARPing purposes, and I wear it all winter because it's nice to have something more than just skirts. And it's, you wear this as an isolation layer between your skin and the somewhat scratchy wool. Now the shirt is made for me at 15, so it doesn't fit anymore. And now for the skirt. The skirt is basic red wool with a green facing on the bottom and a lot of pleats in the back. It's closed with hooks and eyes like this. I've lost weight. The vest looks like this, and now I'm actually kind of excited about this because, like, turns out that the skirt fits nicely. This is closed with hooks and eyes and these silver clasps, and yeah, this fits pretty good. Actually, I took this out a few years ago. I took it out. Don't tell the bunads, please. I did it myself. And as you can see here, I'm going to point out the fact that my shirt is too small again, because the embroideries that are up here should show through around here, and they don't. And now, here's a fun thing. The vest is secured to the skirt, or the other way around, with hooks and eyes. So this is this. And now we have the apron. There's a bag. My grandma embroidered this for me. And then it's a silver clasp. Opens like this. And a hook that goes into your skirt like this. And now we've come to the silver. The first piece of silver, which could do with a slight buff, looks like this. Goes up here. And then the next piece is supposed to go on your chest, so I'm going to move you down a bit again, just so that you can look at my boobs. Okay, so this is my chest brooch. It's not original. This was my great-grandma's, and it is inspired by the stonework on the Nidaros Cathedral. And now we get to the cufflinks. Now cufflinks are hard because honestly I think that this shirt was like too small in the wrists already when I got it, and so getting the cufflinks in is always super hard, and I can almost never do it by myself, and neither the husband or the kid is any help whatsoever for this, ever. Like, ever. Woohoo! I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. Like that. And now I need to do it one more time. Ha! Did it. So that's basically it with the silver, but silversmiths like their money. So there has been made a ring for this, and the earrings, and these also need a nice buff. I think I'm gonna have to buff all my silver before next time I wear this, like that. Which is nice because it's kind of rounds it all out, gets silversmiths more money, and it allows my dad to take pictures like this. And now I could be dancing folk dances, right? Yeah. Now, just to point out, I am not an historian, and other Norwegians could probably tell you more about, like, in-depths of how the bunad came to be. This is just what I know, researched, and, you know, just really some of my thoughts into the thing. But I still hope you like this video. Like it if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more of the chaotic neutral that is my content. I'm on it, and this has been my approach.